everyone, my name is Reza-Astro and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something completely different, never been done before, at least not on my channel. I'm going to be doing a review on books that I read in the month of April. So this is going to be a bit of a what I read in April, and I'm hoping to do this every month. I'm really starting to get into books again like I used to be when I was like a teenager. My parents are both librarians, and bless their heart, they used to take us to the library like every Saturday. And at one point my mom used to work at a public library after school, so I would go with her, and I just have these amazing memories of going into the library, picking up a new book and reading it either then and there, or taking it home with me and finishing it up at home just in time to pick up another book the next day or the next week. So I really do enjoy reading, and I'm in this stage now where I'm enjoying buying new books and then reading them and then sharing them. So I shared them, the books that I read, on my Instagram page, and I got really good feedback from people who said, oh, I also read this, or oh, I didn't like that, or I love this about the book, oh, did you think about this? And it was just such a cool conversation. So I thought, why don't I also put these reviews on my YouTube channel just so I could remember what I'm reading. I also have a Goodreads, so check that down below. My goal for this year is to read 21 books, and I think I've read 5 or 6 so far. So I definitely think that I can reach my goal. And I do not have a library card in Somerset West where I live at the moment, but I'm hoping to get one sometime this year and be able to not have to spend so much money on buying books, and just being able to go into the library and borrow the books, read it, and then return them. But I'm also really enjoying the process of finding a good book and buying it, and then being able to like keep it in my library and don't have to give it away. But either or, these are the 3 books that I read in the month of April. I hope you enjoy. So the first book I read was My Sister, the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Brathwaite. I'm really hoping that I said that correctly. I saw this book being reviewed on a lot of like booktubers and Instagram pages of people who said that they read this and they loved it. And I put it in the back of my mind, put it on my to be read list, and then I went to the grocery store. I went to our local Spar up the road, and they have like bookshelves, and sometimes they sell books there. And I was just looking through it one day, and I saw this, and I was like, oh, I've wanted to read this for a really long time, and it was only 120 rand, so I was like, not too bad, because books in South Africa cost between like 180 and 200 and up, like 250, 300 rand sometimes. So 120 is not bad. And so I picked up My Sister, the Serial Killer. I love this cover, which also drew me in. The green, the lady in the front looking very detective-like. And the book is about, we follow 2 sisters, Coretta and Ayula, and Coretta gets these phone calls from Ayula, who's a younger sister. And whenever she gets a phone call, she knows that she needs to go help her little sister who has just killed someone, and she needs to basically help her little sister like get rid of the body and clean up where her sister killed the person. And we just follow the 2 sisters, and it's obviously in Coretta's point of view, so we see everything unfolding from her side. She never questions her sister or asks her sister anything about the males that she's cleaning up for. She just knows that this is a guy that her sister was seeing, and now the guy's dead. And so the whole story is very fast-paced. We're moving and shaking, and eventually we get to the point where her little sister actually falls for someone that she likes, which is a doctor at the hospital that she's a nurse at. And the whole idea is, how far will you go for your sibling? Like, would you cover up a murder for your sibling? Would you kill for your sibling? And it really had me thinking, because I have a brother, and I just think like, if he had to call me and say like, look, I did this thing, come save me, would I do it, would I not? You know, it's one of those things. But it's a really good read in the sense that I just enjoyed getting to know the sisters, and really trying to figure out why Coretta did not ask Ayula questions, or confront her or try and stop her. and we just have to follow along in the book. And I love that. I love that they don't try to over explain things. The chapters are really short. I think the longest chapter might be 4 or 6 pages. Like, it's short, fast-paced chapters, and I thoroughly just enjoyed having this perspective and unlocking the story and getting to know this family. So I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a fast-paced but also really intriguing, thought-provoking book. My Sister is a Serial Killer. I love it. The next book I read is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This is a Japanese author, and this book was actually written way back in 1994. I wasn't even born yet and this book was written, but it was only translated to English in 2019, and it became like everyone was getting their hands on it. Everyone said you must read it, and I can see why. This is such a beautifully captured and beautifully written book, The Memory Police. The book is about these people that live on an island where some days they'll wake up and they'll feel that something is different in the air, something is strange, and usually it means that something has disappeared from the island. So things such as photographs, novels, birds, roses, hats, ribbons, things just magically disappear. And if you have those things in your possession, you have to burn them immediately. As soon as you burn them and as soon as those things disappear, they disappear from your memory as well, and you can't even remember what they looked like, what they sounded like, what they smelled like, what they tasted like. It's almost like they never existed. But of course, there's some people on the island who don't seem to forget. They remember even after the things have disappeared and even after the things have been burned away. They can still remember the smell, the taste, the feel, the object, the memory of those things. And so we follow a young novelist who discovers that her agent is actually one of these people that can't forget things, and she decides to, you know, hide him away from the memory police, who are capturing, and they don't say it, but they like insinuate that they capture them and then they kill them. Like, they never come back. The people who remember things never come back. And so she's desperately trying to save him, and through this story it's about friendship. It's about the fact that our memories and our minds are so intricate. It reminds you to look at things differently, like to really pay attention. And also the ending is beautifully written because it really makes you think about, throughout the story, as things are disappearing, you start thinking in yourself, like, what if that was to disappear in my life? How different would my life be? I think it's a beautiful but also haunting story of what does it mean to hold on to your memories? What does it mean to hold on to the things that make you you? And how does the things that you hold on to and your memories actually create the life that you're living? And I think that's why we as people love doing videos, or we like taking photos, or, you know, we have Facebook pages where we like to look back at, like, the memories on Facebook is one of my favorite things, or the archives on Instagram, is because you get to look back and be like, oh, that's where I was, or that's where my hair was, you know, a different color, or I was with these people. And it's just a reminder that all those memories make you who you are. But if suddenly your memories disappear, are you still the person you are? Like, don't you change as well? It is beautiful. I loved it. I love the covers. I'm really into, you'll see, very beautiful covers at the moment. But I recommend The Memory Police. It was a really nice, interesting read, and something that keeps you, like, I couldn't put the book down because I just wanted to keep reading, and I wanted to know, like, what's gonna come next. Definitely recommend you check this one out. Lastly, I read If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. I love this book. This book is, I must say that I think this book takes place in Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken. This book takes place on an island, but it's written by a Japanese writer. And I like that we don't really know where this island is, because it makes you feel like that you could be on this island. Your life could be you know, this island. And this book, If I Had Your Face, is centered around or centered in Seoul, Korea. So If I Had Your Face is a story that takes place in Seoul, Korea, and we, from the get-go, we hear that Seoul, Korea has a very like, people go to Seoul to get surgery. They go to Seoul to get plastic surgery, to get like Botox, get their faces done, to look perfect. And from the get-go, we understand the life of a woman is extremely difficult, in a sense that you must either look good, or you must sound good, or you must be good, or you must be the best, you must look the best, you shouldn't age, and all these different things. And just the pressure and hierarchies, social hierarchies, of being a woman in Seoul. And this story follows 4 women with completely different goals, different mindsets, different histories, different lives. But we follow these 4 women who all live in the same complex, apartment complex, and how all 4 of their lives are in many ways being challenged by this cutthroat city, and how they need to fit in to, you know, really feel part of the city, in a sense. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but we follow like Kayuri, who is this beautiful woman, and she works in these places called room salons, where men come to, you know, to drink, and then they want like a beautiful woman next to them. So for her, she needs to look beautiful, she needs to act beautiful, she needs to, you know, have the latest plastic surgery in order to maintain that status. But she's also questioning how long can she live that way and be that way. And then we follow her flatmate Miho, who is Korean, who won a scholarship to an art institute in New York, and she like goes there and she meets these friends, but they're all high class rich Koreans, and how she as an orphan has nothing, but has to fit into this world and who they are. Then we follow their neighbor Wona, who is pregnant, and she's currently about to be a mom, but she's having a really difficult time grasping the fact that she's about to be a mom, because she's never had a good motherly figure in her own personal life, and she just doesn't feel like bringing a child into the world that she's living in right now is good enough. And at the same time, she also feels like, is she going to be a good parent? Is she going to be a good mom? Is she deserving of being a good mom? And she's also lost I think 1 or 2 children due to miscarriage. She's worried that, is this baby gonna make it full term? Is this baby gonna live? So it's all these worries that she's going around in her head. And then lastly, we follow Ara, who's a hairstylist, who is a mute, and she's mute due to something that happened to her in her childhood. But she's also really obsessed with this Korean idol, and she really looks towards him for confidence and for, you know, to go on in life. And she really does her best in her own life, due to her circumstances. She does her best. So we're following these 4 women, and there's obviously like 1 or 2 other characters, but it's interesting to read. It feels like you're reading 4 different, completely different books and different stories, because the women only really connect, all 4 of them, all the way at the end of the book. And the book also ends with a lot of unfinished questions. Like, you're questioning, you're wondering, okay, where does this go? What happens next? But it's up to you as the reader to really read it and be like, okay, whoa, this is what it means to be a woman in this, you know, profession. This is what it means to be a woman as this status, or as this beauty, or with this talent. And this is what it means to have to really work hard, or to be, you know, really confronted with this problem and not knowing what to do. Or, you know, are you gonna seek revenge, or are you just gonna keep everything inside of you? And I think If I Had Your Face is this whole idea that throughout the book, it's like you're always looking towards someone else's life, and you say, if I had what you had, then my life would be better. But it's not really true, because we all have our own issues, our own problems that we can mask away. It doesn't really mean that our inner appearance is something that you also want. You just want our face, you don't really want our life. And it's a really interesting read, and it's easy read as well. Oh, I want to say these 2 books, I walked into, I think it was Bargain Books, or wait, no, I walked into Woolsworth Books, and these were just chilling on a table, and they were both 99 Rand. I was like, I gotta get it. And so I'm trying to find books that have good deals and good stories and will keep you entertained. But I really thoroughly enjoyed these 3 books. They will be on my Goodreads as well if you want to check them out. Let me know if you've read any of these or if you're going to read one. For stories that are going to make you think, stories that are going to make you ponder, stories that are going to make you be like, what about that? All 3 of these are really good books to read. And those are my 3 books that I read in the month of April. I hope to do more of these videos. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe and comment down below. I love hearing all your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!